evening, Graham Rawlins with News Geelong. The special guest appearance of the 2011 Melbourne Cup and the 2011 AFL Premiership Cup culminated a great day of events for the Anglesea Lions Club last weekend. You need to be involved at the Bravehearts Ditto Show, leading your children in any awareness of personal safety. And later in the program, we'll update you with the latest in sport and weather from Geelong and the Surf Coast. Kaluas Golf Club has secured its future by becoming irrigation water self-sufficient, as Meryl Friend reports.
The Kaluas Golf Club has secured its water future with a state-of-the-art sewer mining project. It's going to be able to save 70 million litres of drinking water each year.
Thank you very much for that. It's certainly a culmination of 3 years of hard work between our committee, our members, our consultants, greatly supported by Barwon Water. They provided us with technical support, funding to a certain extent, and also the Department of Sustainability and Environment that provided us with $750,000 worth of funding. And I suppose the reason for the plant having been built was the fact that very little rain, water restrictions, course deteriorating rapidly, losing members, and ultimately after a lot of investigation we decided that the only real option was to build our water reclamation plant.
This is a sewer mining project where they've actually mined into the sewer to deal with water shortages that were most acute during the drought. And what they're doing with that water is actually recycling it on site and then obviously watering the golf course to keep it nice and green, and it'll ensure it's the championship golf course. So it's a fantastic day, yes. And it's only the second one in Victoria, so is it likely we'll be seeing more of these popping up? We hope to, yeah. It's certainly something that should be considered and encouraged where appropriate. Obviously, they're, in a sense, fortunate to have the sewer access in close proximity to the golf course, and the initiative and really the drive of the golf club initially to drive the project, and also supported by Barwon Water and of course the state government. And you've been involved with the planning of it as well?
Look, in early days, I just helped as a sort of conduit through the planning system with the golf club, but really it's their project's been driven by them and with very strong support from Barwon Water, and I think that involvement of Barwon Water has been absolutely critical, and I really congratulate them on taking up that opportunity, because we're going to see a beautiful golf club. If we ever have a drought again, they'll be fine using recycled water.
It's a $1.8 million project. It's a sewer mining project. It'll be the first of its type in regional Victoria golf clubs, and we all know how valuable water is to golf clubs. So for Kaluas Golf Club, but also for Barwon Water, being able to save the potable water that this is producing, it's a great day. And it seems like the Geelong region are really doing well with saving water, and they're on board. Magnificently. The Geelong community, you've just got to be in awe of the way that they have saved water over a very long period of time. Back to 1983, we were using more water with half a population than we're currently using now. So congratulations to our Geelong community, and congratulations to organisations like this at Kaluas that really want to make the effort to conserve water. Thank you, Meryl. The Geelong regional heat of the 2011 Australian Poetry Slam is back in town as part of a Bookworm International Literacy Festival. Debbie Meaney has more.
Poetry Slam is something quite unique, and here at the Geelong Regional Library the heats are being held. I spoke with some of the regional staff about just what it is and what we'll expect to see there.
Well, the Poetry Slam is a lot of fun, let me tell you that. It's where people can come along and they can recite a poem if they're that clever, or they can read a poem. Better to recite it, but doesn't matter, and it's for 2 minutes. So it's original work, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. The audience actually boo and yay a bit, and 5 judges are chosen from the audience, so it's very much a people's event. And yeah, and there's heats all around the state. In fact, there's heats all around the country. So we're looking for the Victorian heat winner. So yeah, that's a bit about what the slam's about, but it is a lot of fun, whether you're a poet or whether you're just an audience member.
So it's not just a straight reading. Slam sort of implies something a little bit more than that?
I suppose it does. Well, it's as varied as it can be. You can have hip-hop artists there, so yeah, that's always very interesting. But there's almost traditional poets come along too. It's a real mix and mash, I think. So yeah, a lot of fun.
And when are the actual finals and what's involved with that?
Okay, the grand final is November 27th. I think it's being held in Sydney. And the winners actually go through to be toured around China, would you believe? And they also end up at a festival in Bali as well. So it's quite a prize. It's worth $11,000.
Well, let's get people writing and joining in this poetry slam.
Oh, absolutely. Come along. I'm sure you'll have a laugh. You might even have a little tear, depending on... Yeah, and as we said before, the poems cover all sorts of things. They can be political, they can be romantic. I just say give it a go, and the top 20 people who come along will be in the heat on Thursday night.
At the Geelong Library, this is Debbie Meaney for News Geelong.
Thank you, Debbie. Funds raised during the local tour of the 2011 Melbourne Cup and the 2011 AFL Geelong Cats Premiership Cup by the Anglesea Lions Club will continue to benefit the community with the regeneration of the Anglesea Skate Park, as Ian Nichols reports.
It's been a beautiful weekend here in Anglesea on the Surf Coast. They've had a very special treat with the Melbourne Cup, the real Melbourne Cup, and the Geelong Premiership Cup on display, as well as a farmers market, rowing races, and a huge day out. And we're so pleased that we're able to speak with the VRC historian, Dr. Andrew Lemon, and the VRC chairman, Michael Byrne. Well, Dr. Lemon, this looks like a very big Melbourne Cup you're holding there.
It's quite heavy to hang on to. It's 4.5 kilograms, which is a lot when you're holding up with one hand, and 1.6 kilos of that is solid 18-carat gold. And it is the largest Melbourne Cup of this design that's ever been made. It's a subtle difference, but this design first was made just after the First World War, and sometimes they've been a bit lighter and a bit smaller than this. But this one's based on the same one we had last year for the 150th Melbourne Cup, running of the Melbourne Cup, and it's a very special trophy indeed. Very beautiful too.
Well, there's a lot of people here today who are very fortunate to get so up front and personal, including our camera person and producer, who couldn't believe how heavy it was.
Well, I think the two things that people are amazed by is there's a lot of gold in it, but it's also very beautiful. I think people are surprised at the real craftsmanship that goes into this. In other words, it's not just a symbolic cup, it actually is an item of real beauty. And maybe the third thing that people are surprised by is that the VRC gives it away to the winner of the Melbourne Cup. So this trophy on the first Tuesday of November, rolling up very soon, will disappear into the hands of the new owners, and we may never see it again. So it could be a once ever at Anglesea, or maybe a lucky local owner will end up bringing it back here again.
Well, we're very pleased to be here, Ian. It's obviously the Melbourne Cup Tour. The whole idea of the tour is to take the cup to the people. And that's what we're doing here today. So really pleased to see so many people out, so many kids out and about to participate in the day's activities. Just fantastic.
Well, if we get weather like this on that first Tuesday in November, we'll be very happy.
If we could order this and get it every year, Ian, we'd be delighted. And we'd love to see a day like this on Tuesday week. It'd be fabulous.
Well, we had a great day for the Geelong Cup, and we know that's been a great lead up to the Melbourne Cup. Maybe it can prove again that a French horse can do well again, perhaps.
Well, that was a very impressive win from Dunarden down at Geelong the other day. And you're right, the race, the Geelong Cup, is becoming a very important form reference into the Melbourne Cup, which is fantastic. So I expect that horse will run very, very well next week.
On the banks of the beautiful Anglesea River, this is Ian Nichols for News Geelong. And by the way, Rollo, I have my own Melbourne Cup.
Thank you, Ian. Hope your cup runneth over during the Melbourne Cup Carnival. This is News Geelong on this Wednesday evening, as we go to a break and return with more news after this.